Hi everyone, Ani Bonjour. My name is Caitlin Fletcher. I'm from Miss Sandy Creek First Nation. However, as Maddie said, I'm the communications coordinator for Nokiwan Tribal Council. I've also worked for Government Alliance for the past 3.5 years. So today we're going to kind of go over some Canva 101. We're going to go over some social media squares. We're going to go over some posters, and then we're going to kind of get into some templates a little bit, go through Canva, maybe some newsletters, brochure, and if we have time, I might be able to try and show you guys some reports for AGM report templates. Okay, so again, I just want to kind of show you a little bit about Canva. We're not going to get too into the weeds. If we find that there's a lot of questions about certain things with Canva, we can certainly have a second webinar. That's not a problem. But I also really quickly just want to point out that there are two different types of Canvas. So there is Canva, which is free for everyone to have. And then, of course, there's Canva Pro, which is what Governwise Alliance has. So Canva is free. However, Canva Pro does come at a price. But if you do have a not-for-profit, a charity number, you can actually get Canva Pro for free. So we don't pay for our Canva Pro. There are thousands of templates to choose from with both regular Canva and Canva Pro. It's very, very user-friendly. You can upload your own branding into Canva, which I will show you as well, that we do have both Nokiwan branding and Governwise branding already loaded into Canva for us to make things easier. So we are going to get right out of the PowerPoint presentation and go straight into the actual Canva website itself. So sorry about this, guys. I have everything everywhere here. Just going to exit out of that. Okay, so we can see the social media square. Yes, awesome. Okay, so one thing I really want to acknowledge is that this social media square goes by 1080 by 1080. So that's the size of this. This is the most user-friendly size across all social media platforms. So we use something called Hootsuite to schedule all of our social media posts. You could also use Meta on Facebook. They have Meta, which goes to Facebook and Instagram. However, we also use LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is not part of Meta, so that's why we use Hootsuite. So we are going to do a quick little branding. Let's pretend that we don't have any branding loaded up. This is the brand right here. So again, you'll see that little tiny crown. Everyone can see that crown. That means that it's Canva Pro. So if you have regular Canva, you won't be able to load your brand into the program. Anything that has that little tiny crown means it's Canva Pro. So we can switch back and forth here between different brandings that we've loaded. So again, I'm just going to choose Nokiwan Tribal Council. It's already selected. So that means that our text brand is also under Nokiwan Tribal Council. So if I were to hit heading, let's do a heading really quickly. Let's say we are going to do something that's already passed. So Spring Up to Cleanup. We had an event called Spring Up to Cleanup. So I'm going to type Spring Up to Cleanup. And right here, you will see that this is Adele. That is our font that we have. It's in our branding book. You can obviously choose other brands, but because this is the Nokiwan branding kit, it has all of our brands here. So there's Avenir, and then there's Adele that we use. So you know right away that this is the branding that we use. So I'm going to quickly just kind of make it look like a Nokiwan brand. Let's pretend we don't have any sort of branding going on. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple blocks just to kind of make it look like a Nokiwan brand. So I have the elements here. So I've selected some squares. Those are always great to use. These are things that I've recently used. You can search lots of elements if you want. Circles, white circles, any type of circles. You can do feather. They have feathers if you wanted to. Again, the Pro will show you which ones you can and cannot use. So we're going to keep it very simple with just the Nokiwan branding. So I am going to change this color. So again, there's the Nokiwan colors right there. Everyone can see the colors. We also have old colors as well that we used to use. And then we have these right here that say document colors. This is really great to use if you loaded a picture in and you wanted to use that specific color. I'm going to quickly just pull up a picture for you guys to see. So let's just say I wanted this photo right here. This is Jordan's Principle. These are some people from Jordan's Principle. I hope they don't mind me using this, but I'm specifically going for that color. So let's say I want to change this square into that blue right there. So you're going to hit the yellow color. And then right here, it says add a new color. If you hit that little dropper, you can pick the color. Boom, there's the color. We're all good. Do we have any questions about the pick the color, the dropper right now? We can continue on. Maddie, are we okay? Okay, awesome. So I just wanted to quickly show you that that's not part of the no queuing color. It's part of the Jordan's Principles color. However, I just wanted to quickly show you that. So I'm going to change it and we're going to go back to red because now this is kind of looking more like no queuing colors. So I am going to just kind of maneuver this. And again, you can see right there, it says minus 92 degrees. That's how you know you're straight when it's at 90 degrees. So there, I'm at 90 degrees right there. I'm straight. So I'm going to move this across like this. And again, this is kind of looking more like a no queuing social media post, right? So I'm going to add one more black block because that's our colors. Again, it's free form. You can kind of do whatever you need to do on here to kind of make it your own. I'm going to go like this. And again, change that color into the no queuing black. So this is kind of looking a little bit more like no queuing for me. So something that we want to keep in mind when we're doing social media posts and graphics is you want to know the basic who, what, where, why, when. So think if you're looking at a social media post and there's something going on, there's an event going on, what do you want to know? That's the type of information you want to put in here. You don't need to overwhelm your social media square because if you're posting on social media, you can use the actual text in the social media post to put all of the information that you need to. That's important information. So right here, we're just going to kind of, again, go back to the text. We can either do heading or subheading. So if we want to do subheading, again, it's under Adele as well, which is our branding. You can choose your own if you wanted to. You can choose whichever that you choose. There's pop-ins, there's Merriweather, there's the seasons, there's plenty. So you can just kind of choose. So let's say this was in May. So we would say May 12th to the 14th. I'm just making up dates here. Again, this is just to give you guys some better ideas. So we're going to go like this, May 12th to the 14th. Okay, so that's when it is. Where is it? So it can be at Milkman Tribal Council. Then we want to say what it is we're doing. So we are having a barbecue to celebrate spring. So we can make these a little bit bigger if we want to. You can make them smaller. You can change the colors again if you would like to. That's completely up to you. It's very customizable. So I'm just going, oh, go ahead, Maddie. Do we have a question?
Yeah, hi, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but we do have a question in the chat. Just found out that we paid for our Canva Pro, but we are a not-for-profit organization. Could we be reimbursed?
That's something that you probably have to look into with Canva. Again, Canva is very user-friendly. If you can show them, there is a chance. I don't want to say for sure because I don't work for Canva, but that's something to definitely look into for sure. If you can, I would definitely look into that. I'm sure that there's a 1-800 number, or I'm sure that there's Maddie.
Yeah, I'm just going to do a little research and pull up the
Awesome.
Canva support and I'll pop it in the chat.
Awesome. I knew you would. Okay, so let's pretend that this is ready to go. We are missing something. We are missing our logo. So logos are very important. So again, I have it in our branding. There's different logos here. So we have our Nokiwan logos here. We have different types of logos that we've had created for us. And they've been, again, Canva is very user-friendly because you're able to drop it in to the branding from another. We use, what's the company that Nokiwan uses? Generator. We use Generator in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and they're the ones who helped create our logo, create our branding for us. So they also have access to our Canva account, and they're able to just drop our stuff into there. So again, makes it very user-friendly. So I'm just going to pop in this logo, which is gigantic. So we are going to make it a little bit smaller. And let's just pretend that there's more information. So for more information, visit. And then we always have our Nokiwan website here, just so that we always have it in our social media. So again, this is looking a little bare right now, but I just kind of want to show you the basics. I don't want to get too bogged down in a social media square because we have other things we have to do. But what I do want to do is show you how to download it properly. And then I'm going to show you a quick example of what we use on Hootsuite and how we schedule our posts. So we're going to hit the share button here. Everyone can see the share button, yes? Okay, so we're going to hit the share button. It'll tell you I'm the only one who has access. You can add people from your business into it if you wanted. So if I want Madison to come in here and help me with this, I'm going to hit that plus button really quickly. So, and I'm going to say, Madison, that's who I want to share this design with. So because she works in the same office as I do, we have access to each other. So I'm going to hit Madison. And if I want to say, hey, can you help me with this design? She will get that. So I'm going to share that with her. And then now Madison has access to this design and she can go in there and help me as well if I needed help. So this is a great way to have your managers involved in it as well, or have someone like a summer student going in there, and then the manager can add that summer student so that you can manage that summer student the whole time and know what they're doing. So we're going to go back into, I'm just going to put that in. We're going to go back into downloading the social media square. So we are going to download down here. You'll see that there's other things. You don't need to worry about those. We're not going to get into any of those. All we're going to do is get into the download button. So we're going to hit download. You'll see the file type right here. It suggests one for you already, but we're going to go through just a couple of them to show you. You'll see right here, this says SVG, best for web design and animations. Everyone can see that with the little crown. That is important to know because an SVG is a vector file. So sometimes when you're dealing with ordering swag or another company that wants a vector file, that's a fancy way of saying a PDF, something that they can work with on Adobe or an SVG. So if you don't have Adobe Pro, if you don't have Canva Pro and you can't access the SVG, you could always just go to a PDF. And that's still a vector file where someone can go in there and access it not using Canva. So that's something to keep in mind. Nothing really important at this time, but if you ever had a question about SVG files and vector files, you can always ask Madison and you can reach out to us, we can help you. So we are just going to go to the suggested one, the PNG, that's fine. And if there are more than one pages, it will ask you, but right now we only have the one page. So we are going to download this one page. It's going to pull up. It'll tell you that it's ready to go. Here it is. There's our social media square. So again, picture more information. We just don't want to get bogged down today because there's lots to go over. So then we're going to save it. You save it somewhere where you have access to it on your drive. That's fine. So let's say we've saved this and now we want to schedule it because it's not going out today. That's fine. You guys can use Meta if you want to, but I want to show you guys Hootsuite, which is a program that we use. This is Hootsuite. I just took a picture of it because again, if we want to get into that, we could get into that in another session. So this is just everything that myself and Madison have scheduled in July. So you'll see that it says published. That means we went ahead and scheduled everything. So again, we had 3 things scheduled today that were going out. I can't remember the time, so they might have already went out already. 11 o'clock, they could have went out. So we want to plan. So we're going to plan. This shows you the calendar. So let's say that this isn't until next month. I know it says May, but again, let's just pretend. So you would actually switch from July to August. And let's say you wanted it to go out the week before. So you would choose the week before and you would hit create. And then this is what it looks like. So I'm going to add the information here. I uploaded my visions, or I uploaded my graphic. This time it was the Youth Engagement Advisor we're hiring. I think that's actually the post that went out today. So you'll see all of the information. So again, we didn't put a lot of information in this actual graphic itself. We only just put what they're responsible for. In the actual body of the post, that's where you're going to put all of your actual information. So we have the location, the apply-by date, the full term or full-time, hourly rate, experience, the link. So again, and then when you're ready for that, this is the date that I chose for it to go out on, Tuesday, August 5th at 1:05 p.m. So you guys are actually getting a little insight. This is going to be going out on August 5th. So if you see this on our social media website, or you'll know that, or our social media page, you'll know that you saw this ahead of time. So then you just hit save edits and you schedule. And then that's how you can go ahead and schedule a bunch of stuff at once. And the great thing with Hootsuite is you can pick and choose who you want to share it to. So there's Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, like I said. So we chose all three of those. They're all going to go out at the same time and they're all going to be the same. So we're gonna kind of go over into posters now. Before I move on from social media squares and the light scheduling that we discussed, is there any questions before I go on? No? Okay. So I'm going to go over some posters. So we have regular posters and we have landscape posters. So before we begin, in order to get to this section, I'm just going to quickly toggle into my Canva home. This is everything that I ever deal with. So you'll see up here, they have newsletters. They have Instagram. Do you see that Instagram square, how it says 1080 by 1080? That's the one you want because it goes across all platforms easily. There's the letter. There's a document, there's a whiteboard, there's presentation. You can do so many things with it, custom size, but let's just say you wanted a poster. There's the create the blank. That's the one that I have here. But I also just wanted to show you that you have lots of templates. Again, remember that the square or the little pro is at the bottom and it'll tell you. So we're going to click on the poster really quickly. And again, we're going to kind of do the same thing. It's the same type of elements. If you wanted to do a specific design, you could. Let's pick this one. You can add it as a new page or you can replace it. So I'm just going to replace it. So there it is. So now we have a poster. And if we wanted to edit it, so we could have a, again, we're going to go barbecue because Nokiwan is very famous for their summer barbecues. So we'll just stick with the barbecue. So we are going to have this, let's say, August. Again, this is fake. This isn't a real thing. I just want to make that clear. We are going to have this on August 6th. Right? And again, you can kind of make posters your own if you wanted to. It's up to you. You can make it in your regular design. You can add a little bit of flair if you wanted to. We'll kind of toggle between the upright poster and the landscape. So if we wanted to make it more, again, like the Nokiwan posters, we're going to kind of, these are our, sorry, I feel like I'm about to sneeze here. Pardon me. I have not taken my allergy pills yet. I'm sorry, everyone. So let's just pretend that we're going to do the same thing. Again, that's 90 degrees right there. We'll go like that, like this, and we're going to change that color as well. back to the No Kiwin brand. If we didn't have that brand, it's okay. You don't need it. You could just go to regular old red. That's fine. You don't have to have your branding in here if you don't have specific colors. That's not a problem. And then again, it's the same thing. You're going to add anything that you wanted to. There's elements you can upload. So there's things that we've uploaded in the past that we could use, pictures, that kind of thing. So let's say we have this photo that we had taken at one of our events, and we want to use that photo. We could use that photo. That's not a problem. And then we can sit there and kind of add our information if we wanted to. So information here, this can be their names if you wanted to, that's okay. And then again, we can go over a couple things here. So if you want, there's under elements, if you hit the search, you could kind of go through some things here. So there's stickers, graphics, photos, videos, charts, frames. Again, there's a lot for you to kind of go through here. We just kind of want to keep it simple today. And it's the same type of download if you wanted to download it. If you had more than one page, so let's make 3 pages. You can duplicate your page here if you wanted to. You could lock your page if you wanted to. But we're just going to add some pages just to show how you have to pick and choose the pages. So let's say we only wanted to download the second page. This is the only one we want. We don't want this one and we don't want this one. Pretend they're different. So we are going to, again, go to the share button and we are going to download. And now it's the same thing, but here it tells you the different pages. So you can download all pages, which will turn up in a zipped file. So you don't necessarily want to do that. Or you can hit your current page, or you can just go in here and select them. So we want the second page. So we're on that page, current page, page number 2. You're done. Again, for posters and pictures and that kind of stuff, you kind of want to keep it between a JPEG and a PNG. You don't necessarily need anything else. If you obviously had a video, that's when you would choose the video portion. But we're going to, again, go PNG, hit the download button. And again, it'll pop up here under your downloads and the same thing. There it is. There's your poster. It would have all of your information, everything like that. Are we okay on the posters? That kind of thing? We're good? Okay. So I'm going to exit out of that and I want to kind of go over brochures. Okay, so I'm going to search in the templates for brochures. So you'll see that they have the trifold. That is normally the most common brochure that you would have for your business or for your First Nation. So we have these ones here that you can just pick and choose from, right? So you can pick any of them that you wanted to. If you, like I said, if you don't necessarily have a branding, you can kind of pick from any of these and just kind of change it to do whatever you'd like. So I'm going to go. So there's a brochure there. There's the landscape. We're going to click on this one. So this one is a little bit different than this, only because we've added the 3 different sections. So again, see how it has those 3 dotted lines right there? That's telling you that you're in your separate section. So of course, brochures always have an inside and an out. So you'd want to make it 2 pages. And then again, this is where you would add all of your information. I'm just going to kind of work from this one because it's already done. So we have our branding in here from GovernWise. We always have our information, including the websites, where to contact us. We always make sure for GovernWise and for No Kiwin, we always let people know how they can get a hold of us. We have our dual logo here. Again, what GovernWise is all about. And then, so this is the front part of the page. And then on the inside, this is the inside of the page. So again, there's our services we offer, a little bit more of our branding. that kind of thing, and what we do. So let's say that we've finished our brochure and we would like to print it. This is where it would kind of get a little bit different. So I'm going to pretend to download it again. Before I show the download, do we have any questions about the trifold brochure at the moment? No, we're good. Okay. So we are going to download the brochure. Again, there are 2 pages because you need it to be back in front when you're printing it. So this one's going to be a little bit different. You don't want it to be a PNG or a JPEG. You're actually going to download it as a PDF print because that's a vector file. So if I'm sending this to, let's say, someone who's going to print it for us, so there's Lakehead Printing, there's, what's next door, Maddie? I'm sorry, I forget.
Corporate graphics.
There's corporate graphics. There's lots of places that you can go to. Thank you very much. So when you give them something like this, they'll want that vector file, a PDF. So we are going to download this as a PDF. We are going to do both pages. I accidentally got rid of that. So we are going to do both pages, PDF print. You don't have to worry about any of this right now. This says, again, because we have Canva Pro, it's saying this. This necessarily won't come up right there because it's Canva Pro, but I'll do best for professional printing. I'm going to download this and then I'm going to show you guys how it looks. So I just want to point out here, this, you can tell it's the SVG, it's the PDF. It says right there, these are the JPEGs because it has that specific design right there. So we're going to open up the copy of the brochure just to make sure. There's the copy of the brochure. So again, we want it on an SVG or a PDF file because when you print it, you're going to print it together and they're going to go on one page, right? So imagine we're going to print it. I don't have a printer here, but you're going to print it. You're going to print back and front if you needed something quick and dirty right away. However, if you want to, oh, sorry, I think my screen is freezing now. However, if you want it to be professionally printed, you would just save this file and then give them the PDF file, which is a vector file, which is what they need to be able to open it in Adobe and make sure it works properly. Sorry guys, I think my computer, oh, okay. That's what happens when I don't have a printer. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of this really quickly. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go over newsletters. So again, we just kind of picked a newsletter template and we just kind of changed it to what we wanted. So let's go into newsletters. Again, look at all of these Canva Pros. What I am going to do is I'm also going to log out of my Canva Pro account and go into my regular Canva account that is personal. And I'll just show you the difference so you guys can see the difference between Canva Pro and regular Canva and the differences of what they offer. Again, because most of these do have the Pro on them. However, I know that in the other one, they also offer that as well. So let's just pick this one. Great template. We'll pick this. And then you can kind of change it to however you wanted. You can add more pages. This is only a 1-pager, but if you want to have it a little bit longer than that, you can do it a little bit longer. You would just duplicate the page and then you would change the information. So again, these are always great to have newsletters to keep everyone in the know of what's going on within your work. It can be an inter-office newsletter or it can be an external. So that's totally up to you guys. Whatever is easier for you. I know that when I used to work at the Thunder Bay Regional Health Sciences Center, they would send a newsletter, but it was specifically only internal, so no one else saw it, but I know that they used to do things like that. So that's something to consider. You'll notice right here, this says danger zone. It's because there's a chance that it would get cut off if you printed it. So again, I don't know if everyone really realizes, but when you print posters, there's always that little tiny white margin that you can never quite get rid of. That's because you're printing it in-house and it's just a JPEG or it's a PNG file. It goes a little bit different when you use vector files. Again, those are kind of a little bit different. We can get more into that another time if that's something that we're interested in, the difference between vectors, JPEGs, that kind of stuff. But if it's just online, you don't need to worry about that. That's perfectly fine. So again, you can kind of just pick and choose. You can add your own photos if you wanted to. That means a photo right there. So you can add that. You don't even have to have that in there if you don't want to. You can, let's go health, because this seems like a very health. Oh, I'm in designs, my bad. Health. So there's graphics, photos, videos. Let's put a video in. Sure. Sure. Let's put this video in. You can put the video in if you wanted to. Not a big deal. If you want to do a photo, you can do an actual photo instead. That's up to you. You can pick and choose whatever you would like to add to here. That's what I love about Canva. It's free for designing wise. You can just do whatever you would like. Do we have any questions about the newsletter, how to get to a newsletter, how to find templates? No, we're good. Okay, moving right along. So, I'm gonna go like this. And so
Sorry.
now, oh, yeah.
Sorry, I popped my hand up, but I got impatient, sorry.
That's
We do have another question. What if you add links or QR codes into your newsletter or pamphlet? How can you ensure that they'll work after downloading?
Great question. So the only time a link is going to work when you download it in Canva is when you download it as a PDF file or that vector file. JPEGs and JPEGs and what's the other one?
PNG?
PNG, thank you. I was like, what is it? It's a pool. JPEGs and PNGs, they're only graphics. They do not house links in them. However, a QR code is different. A QR code will work no matter what. You can generate QR codes in here. Let's quickly do one just to kind of show. So I'm going to quickly go back into our social media square that we had created. Okay, let's say we want to add the No Kiwin website to here. Instead of this, we want to add it in a QR code. So let me just try and remember here. It's been so long. Okay, and I go text. Kiwin.com. Just trying to remember how to, Maddie, do you remember how to create a,
There is always the QR code generator that you can use, just the website.
right, there is something.
And then you save that as a photo, and then you can upload it into your Canva, and typically that will work okay.
There should be an option in here to create it, but you are right. There is a, so let's go to QR code generator. There it is right there. We'll just use it. See, I knew there was a Canva one. Let's go into the Canva one. I knew there was, and we're talking about Canva. Okay, so I think you just search it. QR code generator. Okay, yeah, you did just search it. Perfect. Okay, so let's generate QR code. Yep. Okay, so I will also show up the Canva, the other generator one, just because this one was a little bit more difficult to find, and I don't want everyone to be like, where did she get that from? Okay, so there's the generator right there. So if someone were to take a picture of this right now, it should take you straight to the No Keywin website. Madison, if you could so kindly, or anyone else, and just let me know if it works.
Yep, it works. So you just hover over and then click that link and you're good to go.
Okay, perfect. I see Brandy is also trying, so I just want to make sure, Brandy, if you give me a little thumbs up if it works, if that's what you're doing. So all you do, if you don't know how to take it of it, you just pull up your camera. Just pull up your camera and you just hover. You don't have to take a picture, and you'll see the little yellow underneath. It says nokeywin.com. Click on that and look at that. Yep, there it is right there on the website. You can't really see because I have a, but that's the website. So I am going to just want to quickly pull up the actual generator code as well, because that was a little bit difficult to kind of, okay, so code generator. So this is the one I'm going to use, the QR code generator right here. You'll see that they're sponsored. So this one, I'm going to go to this one because it's not sponsored. That's how you can tell the difference between ads and no ads. So I'm going to just click on here. And then there's the, so let's type in accept all cookies. Let's type in the website. So again, we'll do GovernWise this time. Governwise.ca. There it is. You can pick and choose the different types you want to have. So let's go to scan me. That's fine. We don't need that one. We'll just do this one. Download as a JPEG. See that? JPEG. So let's say that we've already signed up for it. We've got it. It's downloaded. And then we can add it into, add that into our Canva. So let's go back here. Get rid of this. I've already done that once before, so I don't need to do it again. But it is, sorry guys, I'm just trying to get rid of all this stuff here so that it's not. Okay. Again, so this right here, none of this is clickable if I download it as a JPEG, because it needs to be in PDF form in order for the links to work. So that's the same with social media posts, something that we come across often with our social media posts. How can you ensure what if you have links to the newsletter pamphlet? So again, if they are in, if you're sending it electronically, it would have to be in a PDF. So again, that gets kind of a little, I'm gonna just quickly, what is going on? All right, I'm in full screen and it's not letting me exit out of this. Exit out of full screen. Sorry, guys. Okay, so again, the only time clickable links are going to work is if you link it. So let's pretend to link this right now. So we're going to go copy, link. We're going to link it. So again, copy and paste. We pasted that into there. Governwise.ca, done. So now we know that it's linked. Then let's link the No Keywin one. So we're going to link No Keywin. Copy, link. Okay, so now we know those are both linked. And right now they're clickable. So if we were to download it as a JPEG though, they're not clickable because it's not, they don't work well together. So I'm going to download it as a PNG or a JPEG, same thing. And then I'm also going to download it as a PDF file and just show you guys the difference. Okay. So remember how I said that it was zipped. So again, it zipped the file because I downloaded it as a PNG. So this is the first page. So we're going to open it. Here. Okay, so even though we've linked it, we knew we linked it, you can't click on it. You can't because it's just a photo. Just a photo. That's it. Remember that. PNGs and JPEGs, they are just photos. But if you actually want it to link, you have to download it as a PDF form. So we're going to download it as a PDF, same thing. Just instead of the PNG like suggested, we're going to do PF standard or PF print. We're doing standard because it's going to be emailing and best for documents. Just checking the time here, 11:45. Okay, so there's the PDF version. And because PDF Adobe always has clickable links, now you'll see that the difference is from this, I can't click anything, to now this, where I can click it. Again, because it is a clickable link. So unfortunately, it has to be in PDF in order for it to be clickable. The one thing that I do want everyone to keep in mind, though, is that when you are posting on social media, you normally can't post PDF files. The only way to post a PDF file on your social media posts is if you were to load it into your drive, your Google Drive, create a link. So I'll show you guys really quickly. We'll do that really, really quickly. Okay, just to show. So let me just move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay, so right here, this is the GovernWise Google Drive, right? So I'm going to click on that. There it is. There it is. I was like, where is my thing? Okay, so we're going to use the waffle menu right here, and we're going to click on Drive because that's our Google Drive. So we're going to open our Google Drive. You'll see that I have certain things in here. So let's just pretend that we loaded this right here, this PDF version, because it's going to be clickable, right? Governance job posting. So right here, you'll see share. You'll want to share this, but in order for everyone to have access to it, you have to change this from restricted to anyone with the link. You copy the link, done. And now you can post on social media, but you have to post that link. Remember that you won't be able to post the PDF file actually in the picture itself on social media because they don't compute together. They do not compute together. We can have a whole webinar on that if you'd like, if there's interest in that, the difference between posting graphics and actual PDF files on social media and the difference in that kind of stuff. But you won't be able to post that online. However, you can post, if you were to use MailChimp, we use MailChimp, you could link something in the photo itself. Again, we can do a whole webinar on MailChimp as well. If there's want for it or if there's desire for it, we can do that as well. But I don't want to get too into the weeds with that. It could get a little complicated right now just because I've already gone through so much. I don't want to confuse anyone. But in regards to the links, the JPEGs, the PDFs, everyone kind of gets that it needs to be a PDF in order to have that link clickable? Yeah, did I kind of make it clear as mud, or we're okay on that aspect? Yeah. Okay, awesome. I just want to make sure before we quickly get into the AGN report. And again, I'm only going to talk about it really quickly just because there's only about 10 minutes left and I want to make sure that we have enough time if anyone has any questions for me. So I'm going to quickly go back into Canva. And again, we're going to go into a template. So reports, you don't have to type in AGM. You can do a blank. You can copy from any of these. Some of these have more than one page and some of them don't. So it's just dependent on what you're looking for. If you want like a very high level, or if you want it to be very kind of description and very it just depends on what you're trying to report on. So again, there's lots here. You can choose your own and then just kind of, again, add your own little, graphics into here, your own branding into here. That's what I did. This year, we kind of wanted to go a little bit different. So I didn't use any of our old AGM templates. I just kind of created my own, but used the same the same blocking as No Keywin normally has. So that's kind of just a quick little note about the AGM reports. Do we have any questions about AGM's templates, anything like that? We do have about 10 more minutes. So I just want to open the floor to anyone to ask any questions about Canva or anything like that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
It doesn't look like there's anything in the chat, Caitlin. Excuse me. But if anyone does have questions, I did pop my email into the chat, so you can email me, and between Caitlin and I, we can get you an answer. There's no questions? It's a lot of information, but I think that was a great overview.
It is a lot of information.
Definitely, yeah. But no, it was a great overview. It gives a good sense of Canva versus just the basic Canva, all the different features. And
thank you for reminding me. Let me just quickly show you guys the Canva, the other Canva really quickly, regular Canva. Thank you for showing that to me, for telling me. Okay, so we're in Canva Pro right now, right? I'm going to quickly go back to my regular Canva. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here I am. I'm just going to quickly go into my actual other Canva. Yes, I want access. Sorry, let me just get access here. I'm hoping that it'll give me access before. There we go. Is my old? Yes, it is, because it'll tell you right there. You can go to Canva Pro. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay. Come on, Canva. Let's quickly show them. Okay. So this is just something that I created for my reserve. We had a horror movie trivia night a couple Halloweens ago. So this was just some things that I've created here. You will see. It's taking forever. So this right here, I actually paid for it because these designs I didn't do myself. It was just something quickly that I had to do for work. It was like a work / Miss and Abby thing. But you'll notice that let's go to poster really quickly. We're still good for time. Okay, so these ones are pro, these ones are not. Pro, not. So you'll see that you get more options. This is a great one to use because it's not Canva Pro. So we'll customize this template. Okay. So you can again start from here, design. You'll see there's Canva Pro. So let's say flowers. Oh, I'm going to go to elements. I always do that. Flowers. So then you'll see this one. It looks like that, but then you'll notice that there's the Canva watermark in the back. So when you print it, it'll have that Canva watermark. So that's the difference between pro and not pro, is they don't offer certain things. You don't get background remover, whereas in Canva Pro, you can remove the background of something if you needed to. You could edit it. So it might be a little bit extra monthly to cover the cost, but I still think that getting Canva Pro versus just normal Canva is very worth the money, I think, if you have that extra money. If not, you can still do almost everything that you can do in Canva Pro. You just don't get access to certain things. Okay, well, I think that that's pretty much about it.